Greetings, everyone. This is Pangea North Star. I want to talk to you guys tonight about attracting love energy. And this is both for men and women to attract into your life the love that you want and desire. One of the things that I observe that is preventing people from attracting love energy, and I am talking about romantic love in this instance, is that when you're actually harboring a lot of negative feelings towards that group that you actually want to attract, that comes out. Even if you're not showing it on your face, or you're, trying to be polite or trying to be charming, that's still, it's in your energy field. These negative emotions may come from experiences you have actually had in your own life, but also may be propping up that condition, that emotional condition, or that energetic condition may be thought processes that you have inherited from your parents or other people around you, okay? But your parents, it's always really important to look at your parents or whoever raised you, whoever were parental figures. Now, something I really want to zoom in on here is all this stuff going on via social media, all these podcast pages and channels that are a part of what's being called gender wars, okay? All the trending chatter, all this negative stuff, you can't participate in that. You cannot continue to allow yourself to align, to energetically align with that stuff, because that's going to be the energy you're emitting, okay? And the energy that you emit is the energy that you draw, okay? You cannot just take in all of that garbage and think it's not affecting you. What will actually begin to happen is that you are going to become, are you guys ready? I got a new word. I love to make up words. I got a new term for you. You are going to become homo emotional, okay? Homo emotional, okay? Meaning you can only emotionally bond to the group that is like yourself, not the group that you're trying to attract, okay? That group that also holds all these negative and bitter feelings towards that group that you're trying to attract, those are going to be the only people that you can relate to, the emotionally scarred, okay? And that is not what you want. You have to begin a healing process, a process that is going to raise your vibration to the frequency of love if you want to attract love, okay? So I'm going to give you four ways to attract love energy. So number one is stop allowing that garbage into your mind, okay? Cut that crap off, cut it off. If you have followed a bunch of pages that are, just sitting around bashing the group that you want to attract, unfollow those pages. In your day-to-day life, if you have friends sitting around bashing together, in conversation all the time, the group of people that you want to attract, you got to cut that off. You got to either let that friend know, listen, I got to stop these conversations. And if that friend cannot respect that boundary, you may have to end the friendship. But if it's important to you to raise your vibration, you're going to have to let go of some people anyway, okay? Number two, say this to yourself several times a day, okay? I want you to compile a list of attributes of the partner that you want, okay? The type of love you want to experience. And I want you to say, there are plenty of XYZ, blah, blah, blah people, okay? Smart, intelligent, beautiful, handsome, available people, compassionate people, loving people. They are available and looking for someone like me, okay? They are available and they are looking for someone like me. I want you to say it to yourself and picture it, okay? Picture this in your mind. Visualize these people, okay? And you are going to begin to attract those type of people into your life. Okay. Now, when I began to do this initially, what happened was that I was meeting these type of men, and I'm saying men because that's what I'm into. If you're into something else, then go for it. Okay. But I began to meet these different types of men in business situations. Okay. And I believe that the reason that happened for me is because I was working all the time. Okay. I wasn't putting myself in social situations. So therefore, I wasn't meeting men in social situations. By saying this to myself and then just being open to allowing it to happen. Okay. And eventually, it began to be that I met men personally in personal social settings that fit this description. Okay. And now it happens all the time. Okay. Number 3 is extremely important. The first two, that was like clearing out the bad energy. Number 3 is where you're going to start to raise your vibration to the frequency of love, okay? Because that is super important. The energy that you are emitting is the energy that you are going to attract to yourself, okay? So, number 3, I want you to begin to recognize, acknowledge, look for, and appreciate the forms of love that you already have in your life, okay? Now, this may be friendship love. This may be the love of your parents. This may be the love of your children. This may be a friendly neighbor that's just like a very basic humanitarian type of love, okay? But it's still love, right? If you have a pet that you have not been paying attention to, you've been ignoring the dog because you're so in your head all the time, frustrated and busy all the time, lean into that love, okay? Lean into and cultivate these forms of love that are already in your life. And visualize all these different types of love that are already present in your life, okay? If you don't have these instances, if you have become very isolated in your life, if you're just in a very isolated and lonely place and you really don't have these examples to think of, I want you to start getting out in nature. I want you to practice grounding, sit under a tree. You're in contact with nature. You can start a garden. If you don't have a pet, you can get a pet. Create situations where you're coming in contact with love energy in your life, okay? So I want you in your meditation to think about these situations that you have realized and discovered are already present or that you have created for yourself. Think about that in your meditation. Hold the emotion of it. Hang on to that emotion. Think about how that love feels. And then I want you to allow yourself to become very grateful, okay? Very grateful, okay? Gratitude and love is right up there at the top of the charts as far as frequency is concerned, okay? Now, hold on to that emotion. While you're holding on to that emotion, allow the visualization of your partner to come into your mind. All of those attributes that you already compiled a list of. Think of all those attributes. Picture yourself with your partner. Picture yourself doing different activities with your partner. Think of how your interactions will be with that partner, okay? If you can spend at least 20 minutes a day doing this, you're gonna really draw that love energy to yourself so quickly, it will surprise you, okay? Number 4, realize that what you've been attracting into your life is just a reflection of yourself, okay? This one is tough because you got to be really, really real with yourself, okay? And that takes, I got to say it, you guys, the C word. Are you ready? Commitment. Okay, it takes commitment to be really, really real with yourself. I want you to think about the characteristics of that person that bothered you the most. You can just start with the top 3, okay? The ones that just absolutely made you crazy, okay? You're like, I cannot deal with this right here, okay? Those attributes are a reflection of some characteristic of yourself. Hang in here with me, guys. Hang in here with me. I know this is hard to hear. If you were with a liar, where are you being dishonest with yourself in your life? But what are the things you hide about yourself? Okay? What are the parts of yourself that you refuse to allow others to see? There might be parts of yourself you're even hiding from yourself. If you keep attracting people that are selfish, where are you selfish? I need you to look at that, okay? Because we know that what we put out is what we attract, right? So it has to be true that if you keep attracting a certain characteristic, you embody that characteristic somewhere in your life. I'm gonna give you yet another personal example from my own life, okay? Years ago, I was dating someone that I came to realize was very phony. This man was just like going along to get along with everybody, okay? This person also, it got on my nerves so bad that I was like, you never challenge yourself. You never, I never see you working hard for the things you say that you want in life. I don't see you working towards those things. That drove me crazy. Now, how did that end up being a reflection of me? Let me tell you something. After they were out of my life, I realized that I was hiding in that relationship. I was hiding out in that relationship. I was hiding from my true self, from my true power, from my depth and purpose. Now, as I began to give over and give in to my true purpose and calling, and began to let go of the fear of who I really am, my relationship with him began to just dissolve, okay? After years of being with this person, it was as if the relationship never even happened, okay? And in the process, I began to draw and attract friends to me that affirm my purpose and calling. And now I have like a whole spiritual family, okay, that affirms that for me, affirms my calling and purpose. So I saw that this person who was not being genuine and not challenging themselves, I was doing the same thing by not stepping into my full power, right? And I was able to hide out that characteristic of that person, that they never challenged themselves. That meant they were never challenging me either. I was striving for excellence, yes, but that was in business. That was things that was easy for me. I wasn't striving to come into my full purpose, my full spiritual evolution, right? So I wasn't really bringing that challenge yourself energy while I was telling him to challenge himself, okay? So I had to just be very honest with myself. Challenge yourself to look at the characteristics of the people that you've been bringing into your life and ask yourself, where am I reflecting that? So that was number 4. If you do all of those things, number 1 was stop aligning yourself with those who are scarred where you're scarred. Remember, we were calling that homo emotional activity, okay? It's just trauma bonding when you dwell in it. Number 2, I want you to tell yourself that the person you're trying to attract exists, they're out there, and that they're looking for someone like you. Number 3, I want you to recognize and meditate on the forms of love that are already in your life. And number 4, I want you to take an honest look at the people that you have been attracting and ask yourself, what are the characteristics about them that really, really bother you? Where are they reflected within your own self. Okay? All right, guys, this was a tough one, but thank you for hanging in there. And if you do these practices, I promise you, you are going to see an absolute change in your life, in who you are attracting to your life, and who you are able to bond with on an emotional level. Okay? Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'll see you next time.